Hey everyone, I have a quick haul for you guys. I hope it'll be quick. You could technically call it a Christmas haul because I did use Christmas gift card money that I had left over plus some of my own money, but it was money that I got for Christmas. I'm a little disappointed that I bought 4 books because I have a book depository order on the way, so I was a bit angry at myself afterwards. But the thing is, 3 of these 4 books were already on my wish list, and the 4th book I have seen in this Barnes & Noble pretty much every time I've gone in there, which unfortunately is only like twice a year. But I've seen it for the past like 3 or 4 times I've been in there. I've never gotten it, and I'm like, if you don't get this today, you probably will never get it, and you've wanted it every single time you've looked at it. So I went ahead and got it. But anyway, a little bit of a backstory. The Barnes & Noble one town over from me is a much, much better Barnes & Noble than the 2 in my town, and that is because it's attached to a college, and I don't mean physically, I mean it serves as the college bookstore. And I think the reason they get so many better versions of things is because, you know, a lot of kids are going in there to get textbooks and stuff. So especially for English classes, they get more academic versions of books. And they have a lot of really gorgeous editions of classics, and they get more, like a wider variety of classics than regular Barnes & Nobles. So yes, I was incredibly happy with what I found. One thing that I got, I probably could have gotten at my Barnes & Noble, but I saw it, I was there, it would be the same price no matter if I got it online or at my Barnes & Noble or this Barnes & Noble. And I technically said that it was free to myself because I was like, hey, you're using your last bit of your gift card money to buy it. And that is, fortunately, The Milk by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Skottie Young. I read this for the first time three years ago. Whenever it first came out, I got the library edition out of the library to read it, and I completely loved it. It ties for my favorite Neil Gaiman children's book with The Graveyard Book. And Skottie Young is one of my favorite artists. I'm sorry, that's a very loud car or motorcycle or whatever it is. But yeah, Skottie Young is one of my favorite comic artists, and I love this book. And I have the audiobook, and I listen to the audiobook probably like, I want to say at least 4 times a month. So it's one of my favorite books ever, and it's just taken me forever to get a physical copy of it. But now I have the physical copy, and I still have the Chris Riddell, Neil Gaiman box set on my list. Even though technically by the time I get it, I will own 2 of the 3 books in the box set. But since I really like Chris Riddell's illustrations too, and I think it's so cool that in his version of this, he makes the dad look like Neil Gaiman. I just think that's awesome. So I figure if it's 2 different illustrators, it's almost like 2 different books. So anyway, yeah, so this is an example of what, I was going to say Chris Riddell, of what Skottie Young's illustrations look like. And I want to show you guys this picture in the middle. It's so cool. And this is the first time, okay, this is the picture I'm talking about. And I want to ask you guys, does this remind you of Dr. Seuss? Because this is the first time flipping through this. It's the first time that I've looked at it and thought that Skottie Young's illustrations really reminded me very much of Dr. Seuss. So yeah, especially that one double picture in the middle. So I love it, and I'm very happy to own it now. I might sneeze, and if I do, I'm sorry. Okay, so next we have, I'll show you guys the one that I probably shouldn't have gotten, but I did. Unfinished Tales of Numenor, and Middle-earth by J.R.R. Tolkien, edited by Christopher Tolkien. This is the gorgeous edition that matches my copies of Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and Silmarillion. And the thing is, this was available online, and it was available for cheaper, but it was one of those situations where It's the first time that I've seen this in a store in a couple of years. So I kind of snatched it up, and the extra $3, I think, that I paid, I like justified it by saying it's instant gratification and I now have the book in my hands and I don't have to wait for it. So apparently that was worth $3 extra to me. But anyway, I'm so happy to have this now, and this is definitely on my list for 2017, along with Silmarillion. I'm probably going to read this after Silmarillion, and I might try to order and read The Children of Húrin before I pick this up, because this has the tale for The Children of Húrin, but it's the unfinished one, obviously, because it's unfinished tales. Because the thing about this book is that Christopher Tolkien didn't edit any of these to have an ending. The only thing that he really did to it, aside from adding notes, is he made sure that all the characters only had one name, because he said that apparently his dad, when he was writing these, was trying out different names for all the characters, so he would sometimes write in his notes that the same character had a different name. So he made sure that all the characters just had the one name each in this. But he didn't make any of them, he didn't put an ending on any of these until the Children of Húrin book came out, and that was him finishing up. Like, he took it in the direction where he thought his father was going, I guess based on his father's notes. So what I might do is I might read that first and then read this, because I feel like if I just read this, then I will stop after I finish Children of Húrin and just want to read the full tale, or the completed tale, I should say, and put this aside and then come back to it. So I figure I might as well read the finished one to start with, if that makes sense. If any of you have read these and you think I'm making a horrendous mistake by doing that, then please let me know. And also, if I got anything that I just said wrong, if you know that I have it wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments, but please do it sweetly, because I'm just saying all of this based on what I've read, like online and stuff. So anyway, but yeah, I think this edition is beautiful, and I'm so happy to have it, and I love that, like, the spine matches, and it's got the Tolkien symbol on there, and I love the front. I think that's gorgeous. So I'm super excited to read this. And next, this one I had to scoop up as soon as I saw it. This is The Life of Charlotte Bronte by Elizabeth Gaskell. I was going to get the Oxford World Classics edition of this, but it was, I want to say $14, and this is only $9. And the thing is, since this is written about an English author by another English author, or I should say authoress, authoresses, that might not be a word, but anyway, since it was originally written in English, there's no need to, like, look into different editions as far as the translation. Like, this has all the same content as the Oxford World Classic edition, but it might just have different like notes in the back by different scholars or something like that. So I figured I may as well save $5 or whatever it was, which then made me feel better about spending $3 more on this one. So anyway, yes, this is Elizabeth Gaskell's biography on Charlotte Bronte, who she was friends with. So it came from a personal point of view, which I really like. And the great thing about this is that I'm sure I've mentioned this on this channel, but I am reading Elizabeth Gaskell's books chronologically, but since this is her nonfiction, I'm not counting it, so I can read this whenever I want, which I'm super excited about. I'm probably going to read some of her fiction first, but I really want to read this one. And I'll also probably read Villette first, like make sure I read Villette, and I might also even read The Professor and Shirley as well before I read this. But I'm very, very happy to have it. And then I'm sorry. Oh, I just hit my head. It didn't hurt though. I'm sorry, I'm sniffly, that's what I was going to say. And the last one that I am super excited about is Constellation Myths by Eratosthenes. I might have said that wrong. And Hyginus. And it says it's with Aratus's Phenomena. I don't know why that word was hard to pronounce. And it's a new translation by Robin Hard, and it's an Oxford World Classic Edition. This is the book that I think is gorgeous that I have seen in this particular Barnes & Noble, like the last 4 or 5 times I've been in there, and I've put it back every single time, but this time I just had to get it. The only thing that was so hard for me to justify was spending $16 on a book this size, because there are Oxford World Classics that cost the same amount but are like 3 times this size. So that was a little hard to think about, but it is incredibly gorgeous, like really, really pretty. And I think I was only going to end up saving like maybe $2 by buying it online, so I figured why not. And what this is it is the myths that are behind all of the constellations in our galaxy. So it's really cool. It says, it has a section on the mythological narratives and talks about like Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Draco the Dragon, Cepheus, I don't know how you say that, Perseus, Andromeda, Cassiopeia, Cygnus the Swan, Lyra the Lyre, Hercules, Corona Borealis, Boots the Oxherd, and just like some others that I haven't actually heard of, and then some more that I have. So yeah, this is just like the history and the mythology behind these constellations, and probably also talks about where in the night sky they are located and how you can see them and things like that. So I'm just super, super excited to read this. Okay, so those are the 4 things that I got today, and I had to share. I was going to wait originally until daylight, but then I was so impatient and I wanted to talk to people about these books, because I already talked my friend's ear off about them, and she did the same thing for me with her books, which is so much fun. Like, that's what we just went in there and we just had a blast. It was wonderful. But yeah, so I just really wanted to talk about these some more, and please tell me if any of you have read any of these and what your thoughts were on them, of course without spoilers if you don't mind. And I know I've read this, but still, for other people, if you haven't, if like other people who watch this haven't read it, just, you know, be kind about spoilers. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a fun and safe New Year, and I will see you guys probably in the new year, but I don't know, I might post another video before then. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.